Hey guys, today I want to show you how I smoke beef short ribs. It's definitely a very forgiving cut since there's a lot of fat in the meat. But yeah, this is my most recent attempt, and it came out pretty good for Father's Day, and it was very tender. And you won't see me squeezing the meat because I kind of cringe when all the juice falls out. So I'll slap it like this. So first things first, you want to start off with some good meat. You could go to your local butcher shop market, or if you're cooking in bulk, you can check out your local wholesale meat market. Usually, every major city has one. Here, I'm just taking off the membrane on the underside of the rib. Removing this will help the smoke penetrate and help create that smoke ring. And yeah, honestly, it's not too pleasant of a texture to eat at the end too. It might help hold the rib together, but this is just my personal preference. I like to take it off. Yeah, I am struggling. Almost there. There we go. Okay, not done yet. Trim, trim. All right, and just kind of the same thing with the top side. What I'm trimming off here is just the silver skin. I like to remove it to help the meat breathe, and it helps with the smoke ring as well on the top of the meat. Also, if you leave the silver skin on later on when the cook is finished, the bark kind of moves with the knife when you cut it. Yeah, if you want to have a clean cut at the end of the cook and a good smoke ring, I would recommend you take off this silver skin. It's a bit of a tedious process, but but try to save as much meat as you can. I'm taking my good time not to waste any meat. But yeah, this is also my personal preference. I like to take off the silver skin. Yeah, these next couple minutes, I'm just gonna be trimming meat, so feel free to skip if you like. I am by no means an expert at smoking meats and trimming meat, so if you guys have any tips or suggestions, feel free to also let me know. I'm always interested in learning more. Short rib is also a very fatty cut of meat, so I'm just taking off any excess fat as well. Yeah, there's just a lot, so just my personal preference. You could leave it on if you want to, but I just don't want to bite into a chunk of fat. But yes, just some more trimming. Fat is flavored though, so yeah, leave some on. Alright, I think that's enough trimming for today. So just all the membrane off, silver skin off, excess fat off for better smokering and a better cut. But yep, that's it. And here I just want to put on a binder. I like hot sauce, just gonna use Tabasco that I have. You could use any binder of your choice. You don't even have to use a binder if your seasoning sticks on well. But yeah, I like to use Tabasco personally. So I'm just putting that on there, just rubbing it in to all sides. Give it a good massage. Just a light coat, enough for like your salt and pepper or whatever seasoning to stick on. All right. I am really feeling this meat. And I like to use like 1 part salt, 2 parts pepper. I like to do it separately so I can see how much salt I'm putting on. My family personally doesn't like salty foods, so I just go 1 part salt and 2 parts pepper. It's also my personal preference too. So after salt, I put on pepper liberally, just on all sides. Yeah, definitely a lot of inspiration from Franklin's barbecue. Thank you to Franklin for making that video. That's kind of how I learned. And yes, I think my most recent attempt was pretty good. It's definitely a lot cheaper too. So just finish that on all sides. I personally don't like to use sugar on any of my smoked meats, just because I tend to, because I'm still an amateur. I find that I burn my meat pretty often, so I just like using salt and pepper, keeping it simple, and maybe some barbecue sauce on the side. And I like to do the back side first and then all the sides and then the top side last, just for presentation. Yeah, I don't like to smudge all of the seasoning for the top side, so I leave the best for last. I'm almost done here. Just gonna pat it in really quick and it's ready to be smoked. All right, let's smoke these beef ribs. You want to start a fire, use good dry hardwood. Wet hardwood and bad bark and bad wood. It's gonna give off dirty smoke. And dirty smoke is dirty barbecue. And here I'm just putting a water pan, a water tray in the grill just to help keep the meat moist during this cook. And just gonna lay that rib on there and close it. And just make sure the fire doesn't burn out. And enjoy the day. Life is good. The cola is good. And here I'm just cooking up some scraps of the meat that I trimmed earlier, just as a snack for my dog Bella. Just to pass some time. This will be a long process. This meat took around 6 hours to fully cook. And I usually check on the fire every 30 minutes just to make sure it's going. And yeah, the temperature, it usually stays at around 200, 225. So I just make sure the fire's not burning too hot, and the fire doesn't go out. Yeah, honestly, this meat reminded me of Brazilian barbecue. I almost ate it. All right, time to check on the meat. During the smoking process, you don't want to open it too much, or it'll just make the cooking process longer. I also spray down any parts that get too charred or too hot. Usually the sides closest to like the fire tend to burn up quicker. So maybe just spray down that side with like water or vinegar or whatever mixture just to help keep it moist. It doesn't add too much flavor. It's just to keep the meat cooking evenly since it is pretty uneven. And yes, when you have, for me, when you have a good bark and when the meat has a good color, I like to just wrap it just to speed up the cooking process. It also helps soften the bark. Um, and before I wrap, I spray down any sides that feel like especially hard. um, but yeah, just wrap your meat and then just put it back on the grill. And I'm also cooking some back ribs that my dad got from Costco, just to compare the taste. But yes, I just put it on and yeah, keep checking the fire. And once the cook is finished, I just took it off after like an hour because it felt pretty tender when I touched it. And I let it rest in like a cooler for like um, an hour. And yeah, here are the results. The color looks good. It feels very tender to the touch. I didn't really check the temperature, but I was just hoping that it's good. After 6 hours, it's probably cooked all the way, so that's good enough for me. All right, time to reveal the smoked barbecue. Clean cut bark. There's a smoke ring. And no, I'm not gonna squeeze it, but it is tender. The meat's good, and yeah, it's barely holding on to the bone.
아빠는 먹을 수 있어. 맛있어.
뭐야 왜 이렇게 새까매졌어?
겉에만 그래. 응, 맛있어. 겉에만 그래. 잘라야 돼.
야 접시가 이거 쓸어 먹을 그 저걸로 주세요. 접시가 너무 이거 아니죠?
기다려.
하고 먹고 그래.
이거 하고 우리는 얘를 위해서 같이. 후루룩 샵샵. 우리 빵 꺼내야지. 꺼냈구나. 간식.
영태야 이거 먹을래?
응, 바로 주자. 엄마 해? 옛날에 은혜방 집에서 장정한 장로님이랑 그 누구지? 용래 아빠.
응.
해가지고 막 구워서 바로 잘라줄 때 먹던 생각난다. 그치 여보?
아 약간 그런 맛나?
그때 맛있게 먹었죠. 너무 맛있어. 소 부드러워.
그 사람들은 이렇게 안 태워져. 계속 물을 뿌려. 타지 않게.
근데 요거는 타지 않아. 다 연기로 하니까 그래서 새콤하죠.
그래?
이건 탄 게 아니야. 그 연기 그 스모크.
그리고 이거 저거야.
불 바로 위에 하지 않아서.
저거. 그거 뭐더라?
All right, and here are the back ribs that we got from Costco. Honestly, these back ribs have a more beefy flavor. It has a nice tender chew to it too. I guess it's because there's more blood in this part of the rib, or but yeah, this was good. I kind of really like the back ribs as well. Definitely less meat, but a lot of good beef flavor and very tender as well. Oh man, if you have some like Hawaiian buns or whatever, dinner rolls, this will make for a mean sandwich too with some barbecue sauce. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this helps some of you who are trying to start smoking barbecue. My first attempt was not great at all. It was bitter. I used bad smoke and not good at all. But yeah, good barbecue, good company. Thank you so much. Love you guys.